Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Ajay Kumar, Director, Technia Institute of Advanced Studies, to give their remark on the webinar. Dr. Ajay Kumar, Director of Technia Institute of Advanced Studies, approved by AICTE, done his PhD in management from MDU and has more than 22 years of experience in the field of education and industry. Packed with the latest and most comprehensive knowledge in the subject of management and an excellent diversity of communication skills with knowledge of latest computers. Dr. Rathore has conceptualized and conveyed more than 30 national and international conferences and has attended several national and international conferences as guest of honor. Guided seven numbers of doctoral students. He has authored number of books. He has given consultancy to industries like LIC of India. He is a member of All India Management Association, IMA, and lifetime alumni member of Institute of Management Studies and Research, MD University Rohtak. His area of interest are strategic management, business environment, consumer behavior, HRM, organizational behavior, sales and distribution management, and advertising management. His aim is to work innovatively for the enhancement and betterment of education. Sir, I would like to call upon and to give your remarks on the webinar.
Good morning. I take this opportunity to extend my very special welcome to our star-studded panel on the occasion of national webinar on the topic India's Economic Renaissance Post-COVID-19 Possible Policy Interventions. The topic very apt, the word Renaissance means a revival or renewed interest in something. It is happening for the revival of European art and literature under the influence of classical model in 14th and 16th century. The economic history of Italy transformed it into economic Renaissance economy. The Indian economy has experienced a slowdown in the past few quarters. Third quarter, especially 2019-20 fiscal economy grew a 6-year lowest at 4.7%. A number of stimulus measures has been taken up to bring back the economy on the growth path. A stronger recovery was there the last quarter of 1920, but the whole gamut of operation changes. The outbreak was the first identified in Wuhan, the capital of Hubei, China, in December 19, and it has worked a huge amount of tragedy on the nation and the world. Loss of life, loss of health, loss of income, and more have to all made this the most challenging time we have seen in the recent history and in the mankind. The pandemic COVID-19 made the recovery difficult in the near to medium terms. The epidemic renewed challenges for the Indian economy, triggering upsetting effect on demand and supply side as the world is grappling with this new normal. If you look towards the demand side impact of this tragedy, aviation, hospitality, tourism are worst affected. Closing of cinema theaters, declining footfalls in the shopping complexes has affected the retail sector by impacting consumption of both essential and discretionary items. Further, it is estimated that nearly 84% of Indian households are seeing decrease in income sides since the lockdown began. Job losses and declining income levels, particularly the daily wage earners, due to the slowing activity in the several sectors, including retail, construction, entertainment, etc., has impacted the consumption. Overall confidence level of the consumer has dropped, leading to postponement of purchases. A travel restriction has made paralyzed the transport, hotel, and hospitality sector. Leisure travels, business travels has made the large-scale cancellations. The hectic hard statistics finds corroboration in unemployment rate, which has crossed 27% in nearly early May 2020, are up nearly fourfold from the levels in January, February as per CMIE data. The jobless rate has since dropped to less than 24%. Now, the supply side impact shutdown of industries, delayed in the supply of goods from China has affected many Indian manufacturing sector, which which sources has intermediate and final product requirements from China. Some sectors like automobiles, pharmaceuticals, electronics, chemical products, etc., are facing raw material and component shortage, thus affecting investment and production schedules of companies. Negative impact on the importance of important raw material, slowdown in the manufacturing activities in China and other market of Asia, Europe, and the US has impacted India's export to these countries as well. Now look on with the impact on the international trade. China is the major market for the Indian product like seafood, petrochemical, gems and jewelry. Fishery sector has resulted in rupees 1,300 plus crore of loss due to fall in exports. Indian exports 34% of petrochemical to China. Export restrictions leads to see a price reduction. Similarly, India's export 36% of its diamond to China, an estimated loss of 8,000 to 10,000 crores in terms of business opportunities for Jaipur alone. So, world came to know about this, its serious threat quite late. By that time, it had spread considerably, but the government of India was quite late in announcing one-day nationwide lockdown on 22nd March 2020. Confirmed cases starting reporting from the March 24, 2020 onwards, and government of India has claimed success in fighting against the coronavirus, starting that the number of cases would have been more if the nationwide lockdown has not been imposed. However, this view is not being contested. A recently number of COVID cases has surged to 24/7 2020, more than 11 crores across world over. COVID cases has been confirmed in India around 30,657 deaths 1 month before. But the positive side is also that recovery rate, earlier it was 63, now it's hovering around 89%. It's better than the world. We all have grown on a staple diet of stories about how great our country was, and for the recent past on the promise how we will be soon be world beater again. Still, millions of Indians will be sleeping in cold on the inhuman path, hungry. We produce some of the best IT experts, engineers, doctors of the world. We possess our fair share of natural resources. Our manpower, it varied in plenty. Our democracy is widely recognized as a vibrant and eternal. Yet we keep consistently ranking extremely low on any index of development. Question arises, post COVID-19, will India ever have an economic renaissance? A big question mark. The dream of economic renaissance is very much achievable, but the task is not easy one. The different constituencies will have to join hand and work in tandem to make this dream possible. The key economic question addressed was how and how far and how fast will the economic damage spread can be stopped? How bad will it get? How long will the damage last? What are the mechanism of economic contagion? Above all, what can government do about it? All economic activities going on in the COVID-19 times are under strain. Economic renaissance, thus term, helps clarify structural, technological, or any other kind of change in the economy might have undergone, or indeed such changes took place during this pandemic control. All scholarships expected on this particular problem, economic historians have not generally been interested in looking at the period as a whole, but the present crisis has demographic catastrophe, operating failures, ramification, a convenient place of conducting the account of commercial revolution and urban economic growth and modernistic of the story, with the concern about what India got left behind in the rapid expansion of economy. In brief review, we aim to discuss about this lockdown, how unlock period is taking shape, response to the COVID-19 pandemic on social front, on economic front, on the health front, on all other programs which India taken up for its developments. This pandemic is likely to see more severe for India in the following manner: increase in poverty, pushing more people below poverty line, worsening of social economic inequalities, thus affecting health and nutrition indices, and compromise health related precautions, use of masks, social distancing, seeking medical advice in change of cough and fever, etc., all over would have major long-term association with the health indicator. Some, according to survey, we have seen that a significant 53% of Indian business indicated marked impact on the coronavirus pandemic on business operations, even at the earlier stages. The pandemic has impacted the cash flow with almost 80% reported decrease in the cash flow. The pandemic impacted supply chain as more than 60% of supply chain were affected and are worsened further. It renewed focus on hygiene aspect concerning the pandemic. Almost 40% placed stringent check on the people entering their offices and disinfection. Nearly 30% organizations have already started work from home policies for their employees. Nearly 42% feel that it could take up to 6 months for normalcy to return. Some sectors, the work from home proposition is posing implementation challenges as it has direct bearing on the business operations. There is a dire need to make immediate step to contain the spread of virus, but also to address the key pain areas of industry which can help in minimizing the impact of outbreak on the Indian economy and business. The amalgamation of monetary and fiscal and financial market proposes are needed to help the business and people cope with the crisis. Therefore, correct actions and policy measures are required specific to the problems. Government can take appropriate measures to contain it. Government of India and RBI need to support the Indian industry and economy at this juncture in a different way. They have done so in a meaningful way. Measures undertaken by government towards the migrant labor, free concessional transportation for the return of migration arranged by the state and central governments, then the made arrangement for the food and shelter close to the work site and factories, plan for subsidized meal program for the migrant labor for nearly 6 to 12 months, low cost rental housing promoted and medical insurance provided to all workers, promoting SSI projects in the local area of migrant, lay out a clear policy for lockdown and opening up in advance, and how we are going to open up as far as the school and colleges are concerned, direct cash transfer to the bank account of migrant labor, increasing test and isolate till they are cured. And this instill confidence among the worker and employee, and the campaign at local level involving community leaders, message of safe environment, portal at the state level, and get migrant workers registered on that. And government have to have data of employment which enable to contact and provide food and basic amenities in pandemic like emergencies when they really need to support them. A comprehensive social security scheme for migrant labor workers may be developed covering education and healthcare like Manrega in urban areas are large scale work programs can be initiated for cleaning activities, sanitation work, plantation of trees, etc. All this will provide job to the informal workers. Certain time, the reforms which has already been taken by the government for demand creation, government to introduce universal basic income scheme, enhance the cash transfer for daily wages earners, farmers, and migrant laborers, impetus for infrastructure, housing, and auto sector as these are in demand generators. GST rate should be rationalized and drive consumption as a temporary measures period for 6 to 12 months. Widening of slabs for individual income tax rates to put more money in the hands of people. State governments be supported to purchase new fleet of buses for local transportation needs and introduce vehicle scrapping policy at earliest. Continue to lift the travel restrictions and air travel, which has been done so. Interest rates of housing and loan be reduced and tenure be extended. Tax soaps of the customers be considered for purchase of housing units. Dues for the government to industries and individual to be cleared at the earliest, and tax relief to SEZ should be extended for further period to provide them promote export business. This will enhance the export of the country and will also attract fund in the monetary and fund in the foreign currency. So with this, I feel there are a lot many policy interventions which government can be able to do in case of direct taxes and so on. I leave this to the other speakers to make further elaboration on the topic. I feel I have said enough on the topic as far as the economic renaissance is concerned. There are a lot many challenges India is facing, but together we can be able to overcome if we try to make it in a with a positive set of mind and try to see that all possible interventions with a positive mindset, then we can be able to achieve and India can come out with flying colors in time to come. Thank you very much.